Welcome back, everyone, to another Eat Speak podcast, the most delicious podcast in the Metroplex. I'm Bud Kennedy.
And Steve Wilson.
Hey, Steve. All right. Good to have you back. Merry Christmas. And, we are going to talk about everything new in the Stockyards today. So we have the chef of the new restaurant of the Stockyards, Chef Marcus Paslay, is our Christmas guest. And happy holidays. Merry Christmas to you, Marcus.
Yeah, likewise. Thanks for having me.
You've kind of had a pretty busy holiday so far. So start off by telling us all about what it was like running Provender Hall in the middle of the national finals rodeo crowds in the Stockyards, what it's been like the last couple of weeks, and tell us a little bit about, everybody knows you from Clay Pigeon. So tell us all about the rodeo and Provender Hall.
Sure. Well, Provender Hall, we opened up in early July. So, tough time in the restaurant business to open a restaurant, but you take it as it comes and kind of roll with the punches. And the NFR, the rodeo was a big event, obviously, and a welcome sight for us from a business standpoint. We stayed pretty steady and very happy with the turnout we had.
What did folks eat? Was this the big steak and beef eating crowd that people talk about? Did they follow? Did they come through on that?
They did, and chicken fried steak, I think, was the big winner over the 10-day stretch. So we sold quite a bit of that.
Okay. Now, I never dreamed I'd be talking to you about chicken fried steak. But what do you do different with your chicken fried steak? Or it's kind of made a comeback because both you and Tim Love are doing nice chicken fried steaks in the Stockyards right now. So tell us about your chicken fried steak and what makes it a little different from what I'd get down the corner at the Plate Lunch Diner.
Sure. Well, we start off with a really high quality cut of meat. So it's New York strip. It's prime. We tenderize it. We pound it out. So it's a nice piece of meat to start off with. And then, we just bread it traditionally. We don't try to get too crazy or out of the box with it. We're kind of right down there in the middle with the traditional flour breading on it. Flour, egg wash, flour. Seasoned it, salt and pepper, and then just a good country cream pepper gravy right over the top.
Good. Gosh, did you grow up eating chicken fried steak in Arlington? Was there a chicken fried steak of your memory that was the one that kind of you grew up on?
Sure. Yeah, we ate chicken fried steak pretty often when we'd go out, and actually my mom made a really good one when she made it. She didn't make it very often because it was destroyed the kitchen, so she hated making it. But when she did, it was pretty great.
Yeah, it was my job to tenderize some of those cutlets for a while. That was a good job for a little boy to come in and be the tenderizer till Mom batters it and fries it. Fried steak is something that, chicken fried steak is something that Texans, really love. They say Jerry Flemmons, the great Star Telegraph travel writer, used to say that there are only three food groups in Texas: chili, barbecue, and fried. That those are the three. Everything fits into one of those. So,
a lot of truth.
But now, let's not let people get the wrong idea, because Provender Hall this is not like Star Cafe. This is not like where you're walking in and everybody's having chicken fried steak. So talk a little bit about Provender Hall.
Well, I think there's a handful of things that makes us different. Of course we've got all those Texas greatest hits, like chicken fried steak, like burger, like steak. But, we've got a raw bar there with stock full of oysters. We've got the pimento cheese. We've got fresh pork rinds. We've got grilled trout. So we've got a little bit of something for everybody. We're using high quality products. So we're taking that.
There's the trout with the trout comes with a Hoppin' John. There's the trout right now.
Yeah, so we've got that black-eyed pea Hoppin' John underneath it. And that's
one of the best dishes.
It is great. And that trout gets grilled over an open flame, so it's got a really good smoky flavor to it. We just get high-quality ingredients and try to treat them right and do what we know how to do. There's our steak frites right there, which is Akaushi flat iron and house-made French fries. So
I did not take all these photos or eat all these dinners. I want that to be on the record. Steve, did you eat all these? I didn't eat all these dinners, but if you took all these pictures and ate all these dinners, I missed out.
No. They sent us these pictures, but I definitely want to try the trout dish there with And a burger. I bet I love your burgers.
Of course, the Clay Pigeon burger won Burger of the Year a couple of years ago. Well, now we should tell people Provender Hall is on East Exchange Avenue, and it's across the street from Cowtown Coliseum, next to Shake Shack, if you know where that is. And it's in this whole new part of the Stockyards. It's a new shopping area with an old name called Mule Alley. Marcus, can you tell everybody that doesn't know anything at all about what we're talking about? How do you explain to people what Mule Alley is now?
Well, it's pretty incredible. I mean, I think everyone knows what it used to be, and it was these vacant barns for years and years, and you'd turn down that off of Exchange down that little alley, and that was your pay to park parking lot. I think that's how most people used it over the past several years. But if you haven't been there in a while, you should check it out because it's completely different. I mean, you've got an awesome hotel at the end of it, Hotel Drover. All those barns that we're a part of have been refurbished and brought back to life. We've gone in there. A few others have gone in there and our stamp on it.
Biscuit Bar, Shake Shack, any other neighbors?
We got Second Rodeo Brewing. That's going to open in February. You got Side Saddle Saloon, which is Sarah Castillo. That's going to be
from Teenies and Taco Heads, right? Side Saddle.
Yeah, so that'll be a pretty cool spot. And there's a couple of spots. You got Lucchese. They're open. That's a really, really good place to shop. Proper. I mean, there's some good shopping and some good eats to be had.
Yeah, this is the new part of the Stockyards. This is the new happening scene. Well, did people find their way to Mule Alley during the rodeo? Were there people who went down and looked at where the new hotel will be? Was there good traffic in the new area?
There was great traffic. Yeah, we were very pleased with the amount of traffic and the amount of people that we saw, and seemed to be having a good time.
Let me ask you, because some people have been concerned about the rodeo crowds, and I know that you didn't have any outdoor dining to kind of help people. Were you able to manage people and manage the crowd? There are a lot of concern maybe that people weren't staying 6 feet apart out there.
Sure. I mean, it's a tough deal anytime you get that amount of people together. But once they get inside, it's much easier to manage. I mean, we've got all the signs posted. If they didn't have a mask, we gave them a mask, and it was just about trying to stay on them when they got a good picture.
There's a good example of spaced out seating. And
right. And even that, we put a reserve sign on every other table so that it couldn't be set. So yeah, we're following the guidelines and doing our part for sure.
I tell people I have a lot of heartburn and a lot of worry about inside dining right now.
Sure.
But really, the way tables are spaced out and people are separated, there's a lot of restaurants I see that people are safer eating there than having a group come over to their house. So
I agree.
So I'm not going to say it's safer, but I'm going to say it's not. It's not the worst possible. Having a dinner for 1 hour at a restaurant that's taking precautions and safely distancing everybody is safer than having people come over to your house for 3 hours. I guarantee you. So,
yeah, I'm inclined to agree with that.
Now, the restaurants seem to be a large space too. It's pretty big space, isn't it?
It's got good ventilation and high ceilings, right, Marcus?
Really tall ceilings, so it's a good open air kind of feeling inside. A lot of air between the floor and the ceiling.
Yeah, that ventilation makes a huge difference out there. Well, what's going to be next out there? I mean, I guess the hotel is the next big development. What's the next big event or the next big moment that the Stockyards is really going to sparkle?
Man, I think once that hotel opens, I've heard rumors that it's end of February, end of March. I'm not quite sure what the date is there. But when that opens, that's going to be a big party and a big kickoff, and hopefully it coincides with a little bit of, more freedom in terms of what we're allowed to do from a COVID standpoint. And I think that's going to really be the big kickoff for everything.
And then in April is the 40th anniversary of Billy Bob's Texas, and I think that'll just bring more attention and bring more people in. And so, people said, why does he want to go to the Stockyards? And then they said, why does he want to open up during a pandemic? But it's just proven to be a very soft opening, I guess.
Agreed. Yes, agreed. We were kind of joking around at the restaurant that this during the NFR, it was pretty busy. It's like, well, that felt like opening a restaurant. That's what the opening should have felt like. We're a little delayed on that, but it's okay. At least we got the doors open. We got a soft opening, as you call it, maybe a little extended, but it's fine, and we'll get there sooner than later.
Now, for folks who don't know you, we know you as kind of still the young guy in town. The young chef who grew up in Arlington and came back and opened Clay Pigeon, and which has been a great steakhouse, and those Monday night burgers that are now every night on the menu over in the White Settlement area. You were in the White Settlement Road area before it was cool to be in the River District. So now you were over there then, and then Piatello Italian Kitchen in the Bryant Irvin area over there.
Right, in the Waterside development. Yep.
Right. I mean, what am I missing? I mean, I know you worked at neighborhood services and stuff in Dallas. What am I missing about telling people who you are and where you're from?
Well, I mean, it depends how far back you want to go, but graduated culinary school from the CIA in Hyde Park, New York, and then the wife and I kind of traveled around the U.S. from Alaska to Vail, Colorado, to Seattle, to a handful of different places, spending about 10, 12 years bouncing around, and I was working as a chef and learning as much as I could, and then moved back here home and opened up Clay Pigeon 7 years ago, and here we are.
Now, Steve knows Arlington. Marcus, what part of Arlington did you grow up in? What were your favorite restaurants? And then Steve, what do you think? What were some of yours? Marcus, where did you like to eat in Arlington?
That's a tough question. I grew up in South Arlington, and there wasn't much that wasn't a chain growing up. So it's hard to really pick out one there.
You're not going to say you went to Macaroni Grill? You're going to fess up to that?
I'm not going to say it. No.
Well, I hung around there during college, so it was more like Mama's Pizza and Candlelight Inn.
And Arlington.
Yeah, that was,
they had a pretty good chicken fried steak. Arlington steak.
What's it? Gilligan's, the Irish nachos, or something like that. That was another thing.
You're hitting the biggies.
Yeah, and it's different now. There's some good shops over there now. But when I was growing up, it was chain or chain.
And Candlelight Inn's restored, and do you remember the Arlington Steakhouse chicken fried steak? Do you remember what was distinctive about it?
It had that green gravy over the top.
That's right. They used the chicken broth so much that the gravy was yellow and became almost yellowish green from the chicken broth. So yeah, that's what it was known for. It was actually pretty good, but it threw people off sometimes when they get it and look at it. Then once they had some, they wanted to know why other places didn't have it, but it was pretty distinctive.
And then there was Campo Verde.
Oh my gosh,
that place! I think you could see it from outer space. It was lit up pretty good.
Were you there when they hung all those Christmas lights? No, you're not that old. It opened before you were born, I think. So
it might have, but we were there a handful of times. Yeah.
So there you go. Well, Campo Verde, gets people don't understand that's kind of Arizona Sonoran menu. It's just kind of thrown together. It's a hodgepodge of a lot of different things, but people really, a lot of times argue about the food and they don't really understand the intention of the food. I guess the big thing is you got a big basket of sopapillas like you used to at Poncho's.
Yeah, I think that was the big win. That and the train that went around the top there when I was a little kid waiting on that train to come by was a pretty big deal.
I don't want to miss talking about your other restaurants here. What do we need to know that's new at Clay Pigeon? And talk a little bit about Piatello. Piatello gets forgotten. It's more of a neighborhood restaurant, I think, and deserves a little bit more attention. And talk about what you're doing now at those restaurants.
Well, Clay Pigeon's kind of our steady Eddie, keeping going. And right now we're dinner only Tuesday through Saturday. So we're closed Sunday and Monday. Hopefully we can open that up more when the bridge opens up and everything else kind of happens over there. And then here at Piatello, which is where I'm at right now, our Italian restaurant, it's actually done really well through the pandemic because we have such a great outdoor space. So our outdoor patio would fill up really quickly before the cold weather hit, and it was really nice. and we've done a little bit of a remodel. We've painted, we've added some new furniture, and we've put in some plants and stuff like that. So if you haven't been in a while, it'll look a little bit different. But Piatello has just been a great little Italian spot for us, and I think biasly, it's the best value in town. I think it's phenomenal food and really fairly priced. So it's been a good one.
Is it only Tuesday through Saturday dinner, or are you open for lunch any at all at Piatello?
We're open dinner only, but 7 days a week.
Dinner only 7 days at Piatello. Dinner
Correct.
Tuesday through Saturday at Clay Pigeon, and then Provender is lunch and dinner.
No, Provender's, we opened up for lunch through the NFR, but that was just for the NFR.
Okay, so
we're
Provender's dinner 5 days or dinner 7 days?
5 days. So we're closed Monday and Tuesday there. So
dinner 5 days, but you can get dinner on Sunday there. Steve, you were going to ask something.
Oh, I just was going to mention that Piatello's, I like the bolognese sauce is really good. I mean, it's just one of my, it's kind of like a favorite. You try our stuff, I always go back to that.
Yeah, that's a fan fave. People love it.
Explain the distinction of Piatello and where Piatello fits in the Italian food definitions. I mean, people tend to think of the what is generically described as red sauce Italian. And kind of tell people where Piatello fits in.
So Piatello's traditional Italian. It's not American Italian, which is kind of where that red sauce joint comes into play. So this is real Italian food that you would find in Italy. Fresh made pastas every day. Our bolognese, as Steve was talking about, it doesn't have tomato product in it, which is very traditional, but not common around here. People think of that as a tomato-based product, and it's just not. We get to play around a little bit with some of those ingredients that I think don't get used a lot around here, and it's great. I mean, it's a wonderful little restaurant.
Now, you still do pizzas there too, or just pasta?
Oh yeah. We do great pizzas. Got the wood burning oven, and make our own dough, and it ferments for 2 days, and it's a great little pizza.
How's that center made it through COVID, and do you have any new neighbors coming in soon?
Let's see. We lost a few neighbors, and then it looks like I've seen some action over here where Mi Cocina used
Taco
Diner, where it used to be. So it looks like something's happening over there, but I don't know what it is. Okay.
So at one point that was going to be well, anyway, we'll see what happens out there. Instead of guessing, I'll actually find out what's happening before I tell people. Maybe that'd be a good idea.
Yeah, that's kind of
the popsicle place still in front of you.
Yeah, exactly. So
is the popsicle place still in front of you?
Yeah,
over there.
You still have the popsicle place next to you?
Yes. Steel City Pops is still there.
City Pops. Yeah. If you've got a Steel City Pops, then that's a good draw. So.
Yeah, it is. And then a little cookie dough place just opened up next to it. So see how that goes.
Marcus, where do you think Fort Worth fits in? I mean, you've become kind of the name chef, along with John Bedell and all his charity work and his family packs, and the reputation he's carved, and Tim Love and all of his celebrity status. But you've kind of become the local celebrity chef and the go-to particularly for tourists and for visitors. Where do you think the Fort Worth dining scene is going?
I think it's climbing. I think we were seeing a lot of great momentum pre-COVID, and then COVID hit, obviously, and that's going to help distill things down a little bit to a higher quality. And then we're going to have, my guess is a good boom after it. And we're on the rise, that's for sure. I look at us at the way probably Nashville was, 6-7 years ago, just kind of really on the cusp, and got some good momentum behind it. So I'm pretty excited.
This has been a year when we've tried to support all the little local operators and local chefs. What are some little local places that you really love that you want people to be sure and support so they don't go away? Who are some of your favorite little local operators?
Yeah, I like Paco's over there on Magnolia. It's
very much
cool spot. They're a lot of fun. Let's see who else we got. Taco heads, of course. We seem to eat Tex-Mex a lot, so that's always a fave. What else?
Well, that's I can tell you that one of the little Tex-Mex hole in the walls has just opened back up. Jesus. It's the name of it on South Main is Jesus Barbecue in South Main Village, and it's been there on South Main for 50 years.
Yeah.
They no longer have barbecue. It's always had barbecue and Tex-Mex, and now it just has Tex-Mex. But it's one of the best places you ever imagine for old-time chili and cheese enchiladas. These are Tex-Mex with the Tex enchiladas, with soaked in chili. And, and it's just reopened. They don't have table service. They just have a takeout window right now. But those enchiladas are perfect. So Jesus Barbecue and the 900 block of South Main is just
reopened. I'll go check it out.
Yeah, that's it. And they're only open from 11 till about 5. But Jesus Borja founded it. He's now 91 years old. So he's one of our precious little senior statesmen, elder statesmen in the restaurant community. And they're still making and serving everything the way Jesus has over there for 50 years. So
that's awesome.
And he repainted and everything, right? Because a lot of the new restaurants opened up around him, and he kind of had to dress up a little bit.
Well, that was when you could tell South Main Village was really getting good was when Jesus Barbecue took the bars off the windows. And so now it all looks nice. They have neons and it looks really pretty and. So the whole family's really that little place has come a long way. Of course, we're getting close to Christmas. People will want to buy tamales. There's a roundup of that. All this is at startelegram.com/eatsbeat or dfw.com/eatsbeat, or you can kind of just follow the links. If you look on Twitter under Eatsbeat on Twitter, you can see the links. There's a roundup of tamales. There's a lot of good tamale places, but Esperanza's is always the reliable. Cardona's on the north side. There's a new Tommy Tamale in Keller that people love. The Pulido's restaurants have like 8 flavors of tamales. They'll sell orders, and they also sell orders of pralines, which are really good. There's all sorts of where to find your Christmas your Christmas Tex-Mex. Different stories on Eatsbeat, and then there's a list also if you're looking for where to eat out on Christmas Day. If you're somebody who wants to go to a hotel and have a big Christmas dinner with a family, or if you think that might be a little bit better to go like on the patio at Cut and Bourbon in Arlington at the new hotel, that patio might be safer than going in your house to have Christmas dinner with a family. And they have a nice heated patio at Cut and Bourbon. So there's a list of where to go for Christmas dinner. All that's on the Eatsbeat page. Look at startelegram.com/eatsbeat. Steve, you have any other dining news? Have you had any good food the last couple of weeks?
I've been quarantining and just cooking at home. So
yeah, that's good. Well, take out and cook in, and that's what everybody's been doing is doing more cooking in, and a lot of us can't wait till we can get out again. Marcus, we can get out. Do you have curbside at Provender? Do we come in and pick up the takeout?
Come in and pick up. We have curbside at Clay Pigeon and at Piatello.
Okay.
And Piatello seems to be the most popular for that. We got a really easy kind of cut in drive right there, and that's done real well for us.
Do we order by phone or is there online ordering?
Yeah, just call up and put in your order, and we'll have it ready for you.
Call in the order and you'll bring it out to the car. All right. Well, that's great. And and we hope that we'll get to come out and do these in one of your restaurants and do a podcast in some show. That's our goal for 2021 is to actually get out of these 3 little boxes. And we each have our 3 little boxes, and our goal for 2021 is to actually get out of the boxes and come see you. So, Chef Marcus Paslay of Provender Hall, thank you very much again for being our guest on the Eatsbeat podcast. Until next time, I'm Bud Kennedy.
And Steve Wilson.